Welcome back to the Uncle Bob Crypto Podcast 0011. And it's Nate. Nate, how you going?
Hey, I'm Nathan. I'm from West Virginia.
All right, look, to be honest, just as a little, I'm going to tell the truth right here. We got halfway through our interview and we got some really beautiful fucking places and I didn't fucking record it.
You'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
Nate, this is a really interesting guy. I really want you to hear his story. He's a man who we've had brief interactions. I think we both loved Bitcoin, kind of. I think we've both been bitten by the crypto bug, but we were both bitten by another bug, which he's going to tell you a little bit about. Nate, tell us a little bit about your history and how you ended up with your first touch with Bitcoin.
Okay, I'll do that. Just real quick before we start, I want you to get a full appreciation of this gold and black outfit. You know, it's everything. You know, gold. I just want to show you my flex a little bit there. But I got into Bitcoin in 2015.
Yeah.
And strictly to buy drugs with it. Right. The Silk Road just got shut down. Silk Road 2 just got shut down. And I was introduced to something called the Dream Marketplace. And I was I was a pretty hardcore drug addict at the time. Let me show you something real quick too. Shout out to Lucho Paletto. This is the separation of money and state. I got it at my office here. So that's pretty cool. That's what I got my phone resting on right now is the picture frame. But no, I was always able to get prescriptions of different, highly addictive narcotics growing up because I had a health problem. I was actually down at I was seen at the National Institutes of Health in America for 10 years. I have a genetic mutation. Don't have any superpowers, but they studied me for a decade. I know that sounds far-fetched, but it's the truth. So I was always able to get prescriptions of Percocets and Xanax and anyways, the DEA regulated the state that I'm in. It's called West Virginia. We're a very small state in America. And many people just like myself are left very addicted to certain drugs that we couldn't get from our doctors anymore. So many of us, we resorted to heroin. I mean, it was fun for a time, but it's very addictive. It's very dangerous. And so the oxycodone dried up around here, and I had the, somebody was like, you can use this. They showed me how to use a Tor browser, the Onion, the Tor browser, and the URL for the Dream Marketplace. And they said, you got to buy it with Bitcoin. And I was like, man, any self-respecting drug dealer will take my hard-earned, greenbacks from America via Western Union or something like that. And no, they wouldn't. They were smart. And they said, we'll take Bitcoin. The trick to it was Bitcoin was extremely difficult to obtain. It was harder to obtain than the drugs. And that piqued my interest. And they said, well, you can get it. You can buy it from people on.
How did you used to buy it?
What was it, the Square app and then Coinbase? But the bigger chunks of it, I had to get from local Bitcoins at the time. And I didn't know anything about mining. The biggest, I think the most I've ever had in Bitcoin at one time was 10, but they were worth 270, 260 each at the time.
Wow.
And, they went straight to fentanyl patches.
Wow.
From South Korea,
Man, those Koreans know how to make a patch.
Hey, that's what I was looking for.
Jesus. So, yeah, it's interesting because I did an article on Dread Pirate Roberts, Ross Ulbricht. He set up the Silk Road. I didn't know about it back then. I didn't know about any of this, even though I was an active addict myself back in that time. But I didn't really know about that much because my drugs of choice I could just get much more readily.
Mm-hmm.
I could get coke, I could get dope, I could get drink from the corner shop.
Right.
But if I'd known then what I know now, I just would never have bothered to get it from any street dealer or mate of a mate or whatever. Fentanyl. So you, just to let viewers know, you were originally addicted to prescription drugs, and in
Yes.
particular oxycodone. Oxycodone, if anybody doesn't know it, the name of it, it is also known as hillbilly heroin.
Percocet.
And a lot of people got addicted to it. And when the supply was stopped in certain states like yours, people were just, they had to, or when they ran out of their prescription, they would resort to heroin. And in fact, one of my mates here in London, and I swear to God, you would never have known this guy would ever get addicted to heroin. Never. He was the smartest. He was one of the brightest guys that I knew. He's a bit younger than me, a fair bit younger. He was such a classy dude, like so smart. But he started off on benzos.
Yeah.
And that led him down the road of getting ever more higher doses of benzos. Now, a short while later, he's a heroin addict.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear to God, he's a shadow of the man I knew.
Yeah, it steals your life, it steals your soul, you know. But like there is a solution. Like you don't ever have to use again if you're listening and you're addicted. Like there is a solution. Like I got sober in Alcoholics Anonymous originally, but I've moved over and I got like an NA sponsor and I worked at 12 Steps and I've been clean for close to 2 years. Like I'll be 2 years this month, so I get my black and gold key tag. And,
cool. I'm also a member of a 12-step fellowship program. I have 5 months going on 6. I'll have the 6 on the 11th. So,
there you go.
Woohoo! Let's get to Bitcoin. Right. So when did you stop collecting it to buy stuff, and when did you start collecting it to for your own investment purposes?
Well, that was when it was right after the last halving in 2016 when Bitcoin went from $1,000 to $2,000. I was actually in a rehab facility and like I had a little bit and I was like watching the price go up left over in like one of my old wallets. And I was like, man, what's going on with this? Why is it going up in value so much? So when I got out, I was like, man, I got to figure out why this stuff is so valuable. And then I got it figured out, you know, about how it's mined, you know, the supply cut every 4 years. And so I was like, man, I got to start buying this. Every time I get paid, I'm buying some.
Do you feel almost a little bit as excited as you did back then as you do now? Do you think this halving will have kind of a similar effect?
I think it will absolutely have a similar effect. Like it's programmed to pump. Like I honestly believe that. And I've been positioning myself since 2017. Once I figured out the catalyst for the 17 bull run was the last halving. Like the whole market has to be recalibrated. I have 9 ASICs below my feet right now. Like I was started mining with you know, GPU and things like that, but I got into it and I started doing some calculations about like where would I consider the miner floor, like the actual production cost, and like, you know, it's different all around the world, but I've come up with an average, and like that has to, the whole market has to be recalibrated. So yeah, absolutely. There'll probably be a big buy the rumor, sell the news right after the halving, 10-20% dump, and then we're gonna go straight the fuck up.
Did you hear about Ross Ulbricht's prediction that Dread Pirate Roberts?
Like 300 and some thousand? Or?
No, 333 million.
What? hey, I'm a believer, man.
I'm not sure what he's smoking, but like he said that we're going to have another leg down after the halving. It's like wave 2 in his Elliott analysis. He said wave 1 was from 6 cents all the way up to 20,000.
Huh.
So from 20,000, he thinks, originally he thought it was going to pump last Christmas to 100,000. He's reconfigured that and says, no, it's going to go, it's going to be a little pump. If it goes over 10,000, he said, forget it going to 1,200, but it will go to 1,200. That would be the bottom of wave 2. Wave 3 is from 1,200 to, I think, oh God, I don't know if he said by wave 5 or wave 3, it goes to 333 million.
Well, I mean, if it makes sense if once we get down to where we're only mining a fraction of a Bitcoin a day and the demand stays relatively the same, like it is going to be in millions of dollars. Like it just makes sense mathematically. But like the demand has to stay the same, you know, or get greater.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's getting greater? I can tell you, I've had friends giving me, you can tell just a little bit like that, give it, oh, John. Sorry, John, that's my real name. Bob. what do you know about Bitcoin? Or I'm getting kind of feelers almost from those mates of mine who have money.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like we're on the precipice. Like I got that feeling right
yeah,
now. Like I've actually put a lot of hard work in for this upcoming halving.
come on, tell me. You said that you've got.
I've cut corners. I've saved. I've bought Bitcoin, and like ate a thing of ramen, and like I've put a lot into it. So like I'm ready
I love it. I hate ramen.
I did. Like I believe you got to sacrifice for things that you want.
That was the meme, wasn't it? Ramen. Do you remember?
Hey, I've done it. I've done it.
The ramen kid. Shit. I like your style, man. I think I've sacrificed, but God, I've wasted a lot. I should have just invested it.
Yeah, I mean, I still waste money on stupid things too. Like I bought a Rolex, it's real. Like I've wasted money on stupid shit like jewelry, but like I guess I'm not your average run of the mill dope boy. Like I have a really good job. Like I'm self-employed.
Yeah. How's things been since COVID?
Hey, but we're still open. Like where I live, you have to buy insurance to get your car legal. So like we still do all right.
Cool. Right. So show us these mining rigs that you were desperate to show us a little bit earlier. They sound cool.
It's gonna get loud down here, so just bear with me for a second, but I'll show you. Like I just got a S17 in. That's a 73 terahash miner. It mines about 0.001615 Bitcoin every day. But I've ordered two more, what's called the S19. So we got one 95 terahash coming in and one
go on.
110.
I've never really understood mining. Tell me what you can get out of one and why you have 9.
Hold on, let me show you real quick, and then we can talk more about it.
Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna have to mute it though, because it's gonna get loud. I'll let you hear it for a second.
That's gonna be good to hear it. We need to hear it singing. Soundproofed.
That's the big one.
I love it. That is wicked. Man.
I can't hear you. Just give me 1 second.
Go on.
All right. Yeah, that's my little mining setup.
Go on. Explain the significance of each of those rigs, kind of in a collective sense, and tell me what you're mining and how much you're capable of mining. Give me a almost layman's perspective. I haven't got a clue about all of this.
Those machines guess numbers really fast, and how it works in a mining pool is the more computing power. Like Satoshi set it up, like the major trump card in Bitcoin is computing power, and using a regular desktop just doesn't cut it anymore. You have to have what's called an ASIC miner, basically, to mine Bitcoin, and that's what application specific integrated circuit. And each one of those, like the first ones I got were 14. They were the S9s. I've mined for a few years now, but like what the difficulty is, the more people get online, the difficulty goes up. So like you get less and less Bitcoin for your mining power. And here it's about to get cut in half. So let's say that S17 that I just showed you that's mining 0.0015, which what is that, $12, $11 a day? That's every day. It's going to be cut in half, the mining reward. So like, it's, you can be
getting $6.
Yeah. So there is a miner's floor. So like if the demand stays the same and the miners keep doing what we're doing, like the price has to at least double.
Yeah, that's interesting.
For us to stay in business, or we gotta shut our fucking computer.
Otherwise, yeah, because they reckon that I've covered that before in a story, that miners, that it will become unaffordable for the average. The average miner or low, those who don't have those kind of huge warehouse capacity.
Those S9s, the smaller ones that I had down there, they need to be shut off because they're not profitable right now. Now I'm still running them because I believe the value of Bitcoin is going to go up.
Yeah.
And I
Do you know
have
what?
fairly cheap electricity.
Here's the interesting thing. I don't know if you follow a guy on Twitter. His name is AK Karush. Like he's a dude over here in the UK. He's a properly good trader. Very, very, as with all really good traders, really conservative, really risk averse, really kind of just clever, maybe slightly, I'm not saying boring, but just they are generally, they're not these kind of, casino dudes who are kind of like betting on black and coming out with millions. They are risk averse. They're very, very calculated. That's what I've found with traders. And I'd like to interview a lot more. I'd like to interview traders because they're an interesting bunch themselves. But he has set up an investment strategy for those who want to get into Bitcoin. He said, look, I'm going to see if I can outperform most traders by just averaging in. And he's experimented alongside his trading strategies and his own investment strategy. He's doing $15 a day into Bitcoin. And he said, like, he's already up like 20-30%, like in the last few months.
That's what I do. I usually take $100, $200, $300 on when I get my paycheck and just buy. Now I've been diversifying because I've hit like a few goals of mine. So I've been, putting more into different types of savings, stocks. When the stock market's been down, like I've been buying SPY and Dominion and things like that. But like my biggest holdings, like, and I know it sounds crazy, but like 90% of my portfolio is Bitcoin. Cool. So I'm that much of a believer. People think I'm fucking crazy around here, but like I love it. It's my favorite thing on the planet.
Yeah, no, I have to say it's one of mine. What else are you invested in crypto-wise?
In 17, all kinds of shit. Right now, nothing. Just Bitcoin.
Are you finding it hard to hold off on the trigger a little bit? There's these projects that you could go potentially hundreds.
Like I had a link bag, and I sold it to buy that S19. So like that's going back into Bitcoin and the Bitcoin network. So like if I do anything else, it's short term, man. Like I'm not going to hold. And like that's just me. Like I'm not going to hold Ethereum long term. But if I see a trend going up and shit's jumping up 10% a day,
you're going to look at getting on it.
And then I'm going to dump it as fast as I can and get back into Bitcoin.
Cool. Well, Nate, man, really interesting story. You're an interesting dude. You've been through all these fucking hard times, but you come out the other end. I'm really proud to see that you're doing well, because I know it's hard. It's hard to when you've had that life, to come out, but by the grace of God, there go us both. Good luck with your Bitcoin mining. I love the fact that you've got those little babies down there running away. I can see that you can almost be a little bit attached to them. Like,
I love them. I love them.
Come on, boys! Keep on mining me. So, they're working hard for you. They work day and night. Is there anything you want to leave us with? Any final words?
Man, just stack sats, be humble. Like you better get in now if you're going to get in. And that's it.
And a quick price prediction. Let's imagine we are coming back to this in a year from now. Give us a year.
By the end of 21, at least 6 figures.
Give us a 5-year plan.
So that'd be another halving.
Or 3-year. Let's try 3.
Well, if it's still in the next cycle, $200,000 top.
Cool.
But like if next halving, you're looking in millions of dollars.
Jeez. All right. Look, that's all really good news. Let's get to work.
Thanks, Bob.